Hello guys, Arrow here. Welcome back to another episode of Planet Coaster. In this episode I will continue expanding the entrance area of the park, mostly by starting with the plaza behind the entrance gate. To give the plaza a dynamic shape, I will start off by placing a building under an angle. This building will be a simple building with no function at all, it's just for scenery. I made this one pretty quickly. I did not pay too much attention to this first building, so. And I'll add another building over here with the idea that will be a real information kiosk with an actual facility inside it. So this is a two-story building. As you can see, I was trying to add some variation in height in this building. In hindsight, I probably should have made it slightly lower because the roof is now exactly just as high as the one next to it, if I'm right. Yes. This is not necessarily a problem because it looks kinda cool to have one building go bent around the corner and the second building just have a second floor inside it. But I think I rather add a little bit more height variation inside my buildings. I tried to make a custom awning because you don't really have an awning with the yellow orange tiles, roof tiles I'm using everywhere, so I quickly created a blueprint out of it so I could use it later again, and it actually looks pretty good. I'm not really sure why I made it a blueprint because it's such an easy thing to create, but yeah, whatever. I did not really like that look. I wanted it to stick out a little bit more, so I created a pole on which I attached the sign, as you can see in a minute apparently, because I did not do it right here. First I needed windows and a door for the dude to actually enter his facility, the dude who works at my park. So yeah, the downside is the back bit of the building needs like a 2-meter ceiling part or something, and there's no 2-meter walls and 2-meter ceiling parts in the game yet, and in my opinion that's kind of a shame because you can't really make a building like this, and I had a pretty hard time covering that up, and I'm temporarily using windows, but later I'm covering them up with like air conditioning systems, and it looks silly to have those systems on both sides of the building, and this is the only building which actually has them, but it looks a little bit better than the windows currently do. So yeah, I was trying to correct those colors a little bit, add a few bushes in front so I was sure this bit was finished. That was pretty easy. I just simply copied a building over I already made on the other side, because I wanted to fill this place up and there's only so many combinations you can make, so I was just like, yeah, why not, I'll just copy that building over, and you barely see it. To be fair, I forgot I did it, and it fills this place up pretty nice because it's just a good looking building anyway. So here I'm trying to make an air conditioning system, and it doesn't really, yeah, at least it's covering up the whole bit which I use to fill up the space. And I'm making these little air shafts on the roof, but I really suck at making those, so I just randomly make these L-shaped pipes. And in this building I'm creating toilets in the back. And in real parks you normally don't really have the toilets inside either. Inside, not inside, but inside. So I try to hide the toilets a little bit from the eye. That's why I'm planning to make like this small alleyway in which in the back are the toilets. And there's something weird with this sign because it keeps flipping upside down when I move out, when I zoom out, and when I zoom in it turns right side up again. So I tried turning it around, but then I'm reversing the effect, so when I'm zoomed out further away it looks good, but when I'm zooming in the sign flips upside down again. I'll show it in a minute in the live part. I'll just show it for a second. So yeah, here I'm just trying to close up the alleyway to the toilet, so it's really a sealed off bit of the park. And adding a few more buildings to finish up the alleyway. This is a real small house, and this is really more used as a corridor from one building to the next one I'm going to make, or maybe like more like an extension of the other building, I don't know. So I'm trying something different again. This time I'm trying to use a cloth awning, and it actually looks pretty good, so I just kept it the way it was. This is a new building I'm making, one with a balcony made out of plaster, and a corner in the upper side. This turned out to be a pretty nice building in my opinion. It's not too simple, not too plain, and yeah, it's a nice building to look at. So I'm adding, since I've discovered that those beams fit exactly over a wall, I'm really fond of them, and they are wooden beams which I use as like the edges of the balcony. But when I paint them white, they could as well be a different material, like stone or something. But it fits precisely over a wall. It's like slightly bigger, and that's why I like the look of it. So I'm trying to add some different windows. And a nice finishing touch on the front, on the edges, yeah, on the walls of the building. And these poles do have like vertical beams on the wall, vertical lines. I've turned the poles like 45 degrees. It's not really poles, how do you call the stone ones? Columns. I've simply turned them 45 degrees, so I have these ridges sticking out the front of the building. And the building in the back, I just wanted to make it a simple, small building. A few windows and maybe a few plants in front of it, but it's basically not really a building, but more like a storage unit thing, because if a building like this would exist in real life, no one would probably live there, because it's just tucked away in a corner somewhere. I don't know, maybe people do it, but I'm not really sure. So try to add some more greenery to the area, and then fill it up. And it turned out pretty nice, the first side of the plaza, so I'm really happy with how it turned out. I'm simply placing a few more street lanterns and light sources, and afterwards the time lapse is over, so I'll switch over to the live commentary part. So yeah, I'll see you in a bit. So yeah, the live part of this bit. This episode I've made this part of the park. Let me go in a different camera angle. My shop closed. Let's open it up again. Oh. So yeah, in this episode I made my next bit of the park. I've started the first bit of my plaza in this episode. I'm not really sure if my sound is too loud, but if it is, I'll just record this bit. At first I've created this building, I've attached it to the main entrance building, and I liked how it turned out. With the plants in front of it, and this lantern is slightly too high. That's better. Oh. And yeah, this color is a little bit off, but I couldn't just get it right, so I'll just leave it like that. This building turned out pretty nice in my opinion. I really like how this lantern hangs here, and these windows are slightly different. The information sign on top of the roof, and yeah, it just turned out pretty good overall, and it's a shame I couldn't really do something else instead of these air conditioning systems, but at least the ugly poles behind them are hidden, so that's okay, I guess. Yes, these signs on the other side, this one is acting very strange, because when I zoom in it's upside down, but when I zoom out it turns the right side up, and I'm not really sure why it does that. It's kind of strange, but yeah, whatever. I don't know why that happens. Then we get to this building. This building ended up pretty nice in my opinion. I really like how these small edges are coming out of the building, because I used the big stone columns to create those. It just gives something extra to the building. Yeah, if you go into the alleyway you get to the toilets, which from this angle looks pretty ugly, but at least from here it kind of looks quite good. So yeah, and I've created this building as well, which is just a small nice building and not really something special or something, but yeah, it starts to look pretty good in my opinion. It really gives somewhat of a complete feeling when you're looking like this. It actually looks pretty good. I'm really happy how it looks. In the next episode I'll probably finish up this plaza by making a gift shop over here. I still haven't made a food and a drink stall, so I'll probably make one big restaurant like building over here. Maybe just a takeaway, I'm not sure. Probably a building or two in this corner, and then we're done with the plaza. That's the deal for the next episode. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Leave a like if you do, subscribe for more content, and I hope to see you in the next episode. Peace out.